And as we head deeper into the year, we're getting closer to hurricane season.
Yes.
So that's why we're bringing it up. There is a La Niña advisory that remains in effect, but not for long, because forecasters saying that there's an increasing likelihood that we could see this transition from a La Niña to perhaps El Niño by the summer.
Yeah, and we do want to talk about why it's important, though it is not the sexiest of topics. It is something that meteorologists, that scientists do look at as a factor when it comes to forecasting. If El Niño does fully develop, it would influence weather patterns across the United States, and that also includes the upcoming hurricane season, which is just around the corner for the Atlantic and the Pacific Basin. So let's dive further into that, what it could mean for this season. And here to break it down is Fox Weather meteorologist Michael Estime. Coming out of a La Niña, coming out of a neutral, and potentially evolving into an El Niño, and depending on the strength of that, it is something that we're already starting to discuss for the upcoming.
Absolutely. And let me just set the stage. Guys, this is a very sexy topic, all right? Meteorologically speaking. Yes, absolutely. So just to put it simply, guys, ENSO, the ENSO, it stands for El Niño Southern Oscillation. Stephen mentioned that before, which is basically a big giant climate seesaw kind of between the ocean and the atmosphere in the Pacific. Right now, we're technically, as Stephen mentioned, in a La Niña advisory, but that cooling phase is losing its grip, and there's about a 75% chance that it'll hit that neutral territory. Here's where El Niño is. Neutral can be seen here, kind of in between these two lines, and then, of course, you head toward a more El Niño pattern once you get above that, that threshold. And we're expecting that neutral territory, by the way, through the end of March, which is just the atmosphere's way of basically taking a breather before the next big shift. Now, while the past winter saw some classic La Niña moves, such as the northern Arctic blasts of cold air that we've been fighting through, as well as those dry spells down south, the real news is that an El Niño, which is the warming phase, especially in the equatorial waters of the Pacific Ocean, is already brewing beneath the surface. We look specifically at this area right here, Niño 3.4 for that warmth. And if it kicks in by this summer or fall, as is expected to do, we could also be looking at a much wetter southern United States and potentially even a quieter hurricane season. One of the reasons is just because when you look at where that warmth would take place, it then does have impacts, especially when it comes to the hostile upstairs winds in our atmosphere, especially over not just the Gulf of Mexico, but you look at the Caribbean Sea and parts of the Atlantic most specifically. And again, that could lead to a quieter hurricane season. Stephen, I want to bring you guys back in because, you know, we say this could lead to a quieter hurricane season when you do have an El Niño that takes place, but we know that that's not necessarily always the case.
No, it's not. And I even think of how these seasonal forecasts, you were showing that line graph, this would barely maybe become an El Niño summer. We're barely right now in a La Niña winter. I mean, it's an interesting way to measure things, but, you know, you look at how things correlate in the atmosphere, and we saw something as recent as 2023. I think that was the last time we had an El Niño summer. And that season, from a hurricane perspective in the Atlantic Basin, you see it there. It's very active.
Yeah, it typically, you know, coming out of a La Niña is when you expect it to be a very active hurricane season. But it's not always the case for the Atlantic, and you can sometimes have a lot of retired names out of a La Niña. I do wonder, you know, with the water temperatures, it's usually is that more important? There's so many factors that go into it. So yeah, wondering, do we see water temperatures went out?
Yeah, not just that, guys, but you also think about one thing that we had to watch very carefully too was just the Saharan dust off of Africa and how that plays into tropical development as well in the Atlantic.
Yeah, it's true. Did you not cover Lee, Michael?
Oh, we sure did.
Because Lee was in the 2023 season. It was one of those notable storms that actually gained quite a bit of latitude and moved into the Maritimes of Canada. Idalia was also another significant one.
Yeah, no, I remember being stationed out in southeast Maine, specifically down east Maine, Bar Harbor, for Lee's tropical impacts there. And again, it was considerable.
Yeah,
response.
it really was. Idalia as well. I think that we were just looking at some video there. So, okay, fascinating.